online dating just turns it into like a all you can eat buffet where you can pick and choose exactly what you want to put on your plate. Sometimes you might get a plate at a restaurant. It's like, well, this is steak and it comes with a side of broccoli. Like, I don't like broccoli, but I like steak. It's like, well, this guy comes with broccoli. This girl comes with broccoli. It's just how it is. You
Yeah.
got to just learn to just deal with it. Whereas online dating, it gives you the impression of thinking, oh, I can just like, and I could scroll the broccoli meter down to 0 and I could scroll the steak up to 100. This is great.
Hmm.
But it really doesn't take into account the fact that people we find interest in each other through very different way. Online dating tries to reduce the amount of time needed to like find somebody, but you still need a certain amount of time to build up an interest in that person. And generally speaking, like when I hear people say like, "Well, I'm looking for my soulmate," or maybe they've met somebody like they found my soulmate. Like it just so happens that your soulmate was born in the same town. What a coincidence! All over the world, the person could have lived and existed, but they happen to be. But it's just no, because you spent enough time around the person. You got to know
Hmm.
them. You see them in activities together. Maybe your families know each other. Your friends know each other. That was generally the vetting process you'd go through. Like I had to be a good person, put myself out there in proximity to other people in a social environment so other people could see me. And then when they see somebody else, maybe they can pair us up. Maybe we see each other. Maybe we have a conversation. We have similar interests. And then from there, you start to kind of develop you've heard of people who say proximity interest, where it's
Yeah.
like, I started working this new job and suddenly I caught an interest in my new coworker because I've just been
Hmm.
around them enough. And then they left the company, I lost interest. It's like, yeah, because you're
Right.
literally physically around them enough so that you're able to just like get your body and your brain to start like kind of noticing every little thing about them and just kind of just generating an idea about the person to then take the chance, go on a date, grab some coffee, see how it goes, and then
Hmm.
work them
Hmm.
through that. But online dating gives you the impression, it gives women the impression, from my understanding, just from the statistics behind it, that they have infinite options. And extends their time horizon of how long they think they can just jump into the dating market and just go. I'm curious to see like if there's any statistics about the preferences on women's profiles as they get older. I'd be curious to see if it's like when they're younger, they're like, oh, like I know exactly what I want for, and as they get older and they kind of get like slowly, for lack of better words, like aging out of the dating pool, they start to become more and more, less and less strict to what they're looking for. Maybe they double down. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it kind of throws a wrench into the old traditional ways of courtship and how we used to find each other.
Hmm. Hmm.
And people
Hmm.
just don't like understand how to do it. Because on the online dating app, you might see a person like, oh, 6 foot tall guy, looks good, has an awesome job. He must be a great person because of these
On
attributes that I
paper.
attributed to him
Yeah.
in my filter. And then when you meet him in person, he's actually kind of a douchebag. But your brain's like, but he's supposed to be a good person because he's attractive and he's 6 foot. And he meets these criteria that I was looking for.
Right. Yeah, it's good on paper, but then you meet them. Like, well, how many people do you get along with great online, or you're texting them or whatever, and then you meet them and it's just like absolutely no. Like I've heard a lot of people say that. Like, we're just like, oh, this guy's so funny and he tells funny jokes, and then they go on a date and then they're like, oh, yeah, no, he's totally different in person. Couldn't hold a conversation. Wasn't interesting. Wasn't engaging. Just didn't like his energy. Yeah. So it's to me, it's about the energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times, it's about the energy. Like I don't know. I don't know about you, Michael, but like I don't know if sometimes you'll be talking to somebody who, when you first initially started talking to them, maybe you're not physically attracted to them, but then as you talk to them, conversation goes a certain way, and goes to a certain depth that's really intriguing to you, and you start to see that person as more attractive. Whereas you might see an attractive girl, I don't know, guys, but with women, and then he could say like a couple sentences, and the woman's instantly like, no, he's a no. Like just
Repulsed.
turned off, repulsed. Like this guy, like he's not a classy guy. Like he made me feel a certain way. I got the ick, whatever it might be, and it just changes. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's common with men too. And I think this is a problem that we're seeing nowadays with things like pornography, for example, or
Hmm.
we'll say like thirst traps online, or a lot of guys will just there's no shortage of content out there of guys or people out there just trying to put themselves, women in particular, but in porn and whatnot, that it gives this impression of what people should look like or like what you should be looking for. You should be going for the 10 out of 10, like holy crap supermodel who also wants to be like a wifely lady who wants to have a kids and just bang you every day and make you breakfast in bed. It's that if you don't go anything short of that, you're wasting your time. And it's like in reality, odds are you're going to meet the person that, like, even for me, I remember my last girlfriend, she said this to me. I remember when she first met me, she said it was kind of like a slow burn in the beginning. But then once like I saw you weren't crazy, you were well spoken, you had, you were clean, you were nice, you were friendly, you took care of me, and then you got really fucking hot as time went on. But a lot of people don't. People will jump after the first hot attributes first, thinking that's what's going to make them happy, only to find out this person has no personality, or they're a complete asshole, the narcissist, or born on their personality, whatever it is, that they're mistaking like the attributes, physical attributes, for internal attributes, and thinking the person that doesn't have that same level. It's like the girl who, for a guy, because men are very visually oriented. It's like I'd be willing to bet if you went back in time for me like 15 years ago, 20 years ago when I was still like a teenager and showed me pictures of all the girlfriends I would have had, I would have been like, maybe, I don't know. But at the time, it was just like all I could think about is just like boobs and butts and just like awesome looking girl. Because at that age, like your testosterone, you have no idea what's going on. But you don't understand the other aspect of like, no, it's like their physical attractiveness will go up with their personality when you get to know them. But I've had like ex-girlfriends that, like, looking back, not as attractive as I thought they were, but at the time they were amazing. Right. But then when things blew up, now looking back, like, they were okay, good looking, I guess, at the same time. Sure, the exact same thing of me. When they look at me at the time, I was the hottest piece of ass in the market, and then when things blew up, like, he looks like crap. He's a total scumbag. Screw him. But that's just telling you that your internal environment is just basically your brain.
Especially the feeling of safety. Like as soon as a woman, if a guy says something that makes a woman feel like not safe, that guy can instantly become unattractive to a woman. And it's not just about the looks. It's about the whole thing. And and then to get back to that piece of safety for her, then I think there has to be like some kind of conversation. There has to be like a change in behavior of some sort. But if that behavior continues over time, I think that relationship chances of being successful is going to be low, or at least being healthy.
Yeah, I've heard like safety, trust, respect. Safety is a big one for women, and guys, I think they don't realize how potentially scary they can be in a way.